Hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S here. Hope everyone's well. Obviously, I'm back here with another video. I thought I'd talk about some of the reasons why I personally think it's a good idea or a good plan to support people across Africa. I know people get a bit funny when you say Africa, and they say like it's not one country. I know it's 54 countries with about a billion people or so, and some people say like obviously they have different problems and all that kind of thing. But I thought it's good to sort of talk about Africans working together. I think although they're different countries with some different cultures and things like that, I think it's still good for them to come together and work together and solve problems together. So that's why I'm referring it to as like one rather than as different countries or whatever. Hope that made sense anyway. But yeah, I thought I'd talk about some of the reasons why I think it would be a good plan or goal or ethical. It would be a good and ethical mainly goal to support people across Africa, and I'd love to hear what you think about each point I make and whether you agree or not, what your thoughts are. And these are just my personal opinions, so please feel free to disagree as ever, or to say what hopefully you'll like at least some of my ideas on this or some of my thoughts. Again, you can please feel free to disagree or whatever. But yeah, here goes. So number one, I think that Africans should support each other and work together as one sort of unit, if you like, as Bob Marley and others talked about, like supporting Africa to come together and work together, different countries, cross cooperation, like maybe each year, whenever possible, like a different country, like Central Africa especially, and Rwanda and places like that could, or particularly countries within the centre of Africa, which could symbolically be about, and I talked a bit about this a while back, like Central Africa being symbolically a central point for the whole of Africa. So let's sort of come together, and I think it'd be great to see Central Africa and other countries like Cameroon and Nigeria, and the rest of Africa working together and like supporting human rights and all that. So I think they should support each other as well, and like support human rights of women, children, and even animals and whatnot. So I think that would be really good to encourage them to come together and like just make life better for each other as well. Like, and I think that would make life better for themselves as individuals. So yeah, number two, I think people of color like supporting each other. Like if Asia supports Africa, then they can support each other in the future. Like if Asia needs their help, they could have each other's back, and they have something in common, like being colonized, and that sort of thing. So I think there's probably quite a few things in common between Africa and Asia. So I think there's good reasons for them to work together and support each other, and learn from each other and that sort of thing. Like both had their freedoms and that sort of thing taken away from them. Number three, on that note, I feel that under colonialism they lost a lot of their freedom and liberty. And I suppose being quite libertarian myself, being a libertarian, I suppose myself, pretty much agreeing with most of the philosophies of libertarianism, I think there's a good libertarian reason, perhaps, to encourage people at least to support Africa. I suppose a libertarian way would be to say that it's your choice whether you want to support people across Africa or not. But I think it is a good thing to encourage, especially for people of colour and people who want to see justice for people who have their liberty arguably taken away from them. As I say, under colonialism, I feel that a lot of liberty was taken away from Africa due to colonialism. And that's one of the reasons why I would love to support Africa personally, as I say. Number four, one of the former prime ministers of the UK, not so long ago, about not sure when he left office, but anyway, the one before last. So well, now we have Boris Johnson. Before we had Theresa May, and before that was David Cameron, and he went to Africa to talk about development in Africa, but he was criticised because there were floods here in the UK. But when he was asked, he said, "We're never going to get rid of these problems unless we help the people in Africa. We're not going to get rid of things like climate change, poverty, terrorism, crime, and things like that unless we help people in Africa as much as we can." That's going to be a way to challenge some of these problems, because people from Africa could help with those sorts of things, like, for instance, the migration crisis. If we help people from across Africa and also improve human rights, put pressure on governments to improve human rights and help startups and SMEs and things like that, which I hope to come to, talking about some of the ways I think we could help people from Africa. I think if we improve those things, and the problems facing immigration and things like that will be a lot less, and also like things with terrorism and things like that around the world, and war and poverty and disease and things like that hopefully can be maybe not got rid of completely, or cured completely, but we can sort of address some of those problems through supporting people from across Africa, working across country, across Africa as well, to tackle some of those problems. Number 5, to be honest, I'm mainly choosing Africa this month because in the UK it's Black History Month, but I think also the reason why the UK chooses October for Black History Month is because it was significant, I believe, for when a lot of African countries worked together in the past or tried to work together. And unfortunately, it's sort of come apart and they've sort of been divided again. But I think it would be good if they actually just came together once and for all and just supported each other, encouraged human rights, possibly learn from the rest of the world and look at how they can empower each other, and look at the Africa they want, like human rights, people being able to set up their own businesses and being supported and supporting each other to improve their quality of life, which would make more peace, which hopefully will help. If your neighbour's more friendly with you, then maybe you'll have more peace, quiet, and you'll be able to run your businesses and things like that. So I think it'd be great to support their startups, SMEs and projects, like software development, things like that. Number 6, I think it'd be great to help people to reach their full potential, people who historically didn't have opportunities, like young people in Africa across Africa who have faced challenges to reach their full potential. I think it'd be great. And I'm sure if we were in their situation, we'd want the same help if we're not from Africa. So anyone who's watching from Africa, I'm talking about people generally. But yeah, I think they should support their own people as well more, and again have human rights of children, women, and treat each other well. People with disabilities, learning about dyslexia and things like that as well as other disabilities, so they can help each other. Number 7, I hope God will bless Africa himself. I'm not sure if he will, but I hope he will. Number 8, again, I think people of colour, people who are against white supremacists, sort of, maybe this is a bit of a silly idea of me, maybe some of my ideas are, I don't know, but I'm sure at least some of them are, but I think it'd be quite fun to sort of annoy some of the white supremacists or right-wing people, extreme right-wing people or whatever, who look down on Africa and say that the Africans can't achieve well. I think Africans should be united to show that they can achieve, and people of colour, I think, should support Africans to show that people from Africa can achieve. And as an anti-imperialist, I hope to support Africa for that reason as well. But I love people of colour to support Africa, especially South Africa, for instance, when they went through apartheid. I think people of colour generally, especially mixed race and black people, even Asian people to an extent, I think should support countries like South Africa and possibly the rest of Africa, but especially South Africa because it went through apartheid and things like that. Number 9, I think it'd be great to see what projects and things like that they can achieve, what can be achieved. And I think there's a good feeling you have when you support other people and you help them to better their situation. You can feel good yourself by giving to charity. I suppose like the biblical saying that it's better to give than receive. So I think that's a good reason to. It makes you feel good to actually help those less fortunate. And again, if we were in their situation, I'm sure we would want that help. And I think the richer people in Africa should support some of the poorer people as well, like how to helping them to set up their own businesses, create their own plans and things like that, and learn things like young people learning about architecture and arts and design and things like that, so they can be empowered in the future. Number 10, again, I think it'd be great to support the youth. Africa apparently is the youngest continent in the world, one of the fastest growing, and has some of the fastest growing populations, or is the fastest growing continent in terms of population, and some of their economies are growing. And I think it'd be great to see what they can achieve. And I'd love to see big tech going and supporting them and supporting projects such as Andela, supporting African software developers and things like that. And again, I think it'd be great to see them support each other and see what they can achieve. And in the future, like if wealthier people from across Africa invested in, and I know some of them do already, but I think it'd be good if all of them did really, or as many as possible, at least like invest in the youth, and maybe in the future they can pay back the favour as well to their fellow Africans. So I think it'd be great to see human rights and improvements, and I think that would improve the life of both poor and rich across Africa. And because they have some of the worst case of poverty and things like that, I think it'd be great to support them, especially in October, if not generally. Anyway, hope that all made sense, and please let me know what you think, and I'm out. Peace and love.